I need to expound a little bit because a lot of people are not recognizing that there is a difference between the Moroccan Empire and what you know of as Morocco today. The Morocco today is the state of Morocco. There's a Moroccan Empire, and then there's a state of Morocco. Now, let's be clear that that state of Morocco didn't come into effect until 1952. This is what you know of as Morocco today. They call it officially the Kingdom of Morocco. And I need you guys to understand, especially you melanated people. Martin Luther King tried to tell you, Malcolm X tried to tell you, a whole bunch of other people tried to tell you that this is your land. Really, if you want to know the truth, Trump has tried to tell you. He can't come out of his mouth and say it. I don't know if some of you all know or recognize that these people have to tell you who you are. They have to tell you what really happened because they have to get your permission. It's a cosmic law. They have to get your permission to do things to you. And then if you just looking at it like, oh, this is entertainment, or he just said that, and you let it run over your head, then the problem is you. It's your fault because they already told you what they're getting ready to do to you. And then if you're not paying attention, then you have agreed and consented, and they get to keep doing what they're doing to you. So now pay attention, people, so that you don't keep giving away things that belong to you. When the British came in to the land of the Americas, they were kind enough, and I say kind, to put things in writing. They were doing business. They went to the original people and they made treaties with the original people where they said, hey, we want to be on this land. Well, in those contracts, the original people made it clear, we will pay you treaty for protection or whatever you're going to give, but the land stays in the name of our descendants to the end of time. That is in the contracts, the treaties that are still valid to this day. You can't override those treaties. And so in doing that, the descendants are the ones who have the rights to the land. The problem is the descendants don't know who they are. They keep calling themselves names, and they don't understand those names are titles, they are contracts. And the only people who are moving any contract concerning the land are the original people of the land. But they're still asleep. And I'm here to wake them up. So pay attention, descendants. You people who think you are African American, colored, and Negro, pay attention. When we're talking about Morocco, okay, this is a title. And what happens is when you are claiming something is that title, then that's what it is, especially if you're saying your land is that title. So pay attention to what I'm saying. As the original people, whoever you are, if you recognize who you are, then you know who you are. As the original people of the land, the only way that some kind of contract can be made with this land known as Americas, especially North America, South America, is your land. But the only way something can be happening with it truly is if you say that's what happens with it. Now, one of the issues is, again, the fact that the descendants don't know who they are. They're calling themselves by another term, which doesn't give them rights to claim anything. All right, that's the first thing. So here's another thing. You got people who want to call themselves Moor. Understand where that term comes from, Moor. Now, we've talked about this because Moor, and this is another battle that people come, no, that's not what Moor, and they want to go at me, and okay, I get it. They want to say Moor means land, swamplands. Yeah, I get it. Okay. But what does that have to do with why a group of people are called that term? What does swampland have to do with why a group of people are called this term M-O-O-R? Again, Moor is a verb, and the people who were called this term Moor were people who worked on ships, mainly pirates. The vast majority of those pirates happened to be melanated. And when the term Moor was applied to them, it was not a term of endearment. But that term Moor has rung out today, and you got melanated people wanting to call themselves Moor, not understanding that it is a title under another organization. Now, at that time, it would be the Moroccan Empire. So the earliest place in my research, now if you have something different, show it to me. But the earliest place in my research that I find the term M-O-O-R is in the Peace and Friendship Treaty of 1786. That's the earliest. And that term dealt with people of the land of Morocco at that time. It did not deal with anybody else. I have not seen that term in any other place except for where Morocco called these people who were Moors. If the Moors do something in the land known as the United States of America, send them back. Well, why would they call Moors? Well, because they was pirates. Because they were sailors. They stayed on ships. They did jobs on ships. That's what it has to do with Moor, M-O-O-R. Now watch this, pay attention. Now people in the back of the room, come on. Come to the front, come to the front. Again, I said, if you're not the original people of the land known as United States of America, then you don't have rights to say anything about the land. You don't have the right to make a contract. You don't have the right to do anything. You don't have any rights in this land if you're calling yourself something from another land. You've given up claim to your title here. But what people do is they'll try to tie this term M-O-O-R with this term M-U-U-R. They are different because when you're talking about a Moor, M-U-U-R, you're talking about a melanated group of people who came from this land called Namiria that was to the west of what we know of as the Americas today. It was to the west of what we know of as the Americas today. Not in the middle, not near Africa. No, it was near what we know. It was to the west of what we know of as the Americas today. So when we're talking about Moors, M-U-U-R, we're talking about people who came from Namiria. We're not talking about M-O-O-Rs, people who came from Morocco. Now, why does that make a difference? Why would they try to tie this M-O-O-R to M-U-U-R? Well, because if they tie them together and people they forget the facts about what happened. Well, now these people can have claim to the land, so they think. If you're calling yourself M-O-O-R, you really don't have title to the land. But if you can tie it to the original people, which they call the ones who came from Namiria, well, then now you can have claim and ownership to the land. I'm telling you, somebody is playing these games with these words and you're not aware of it. Go and look up M-U-U-R and the people who came from Namiria and the oldest known people on the planet. That's who they were. Ouachita. Ouachita, M-U-U-R-S. Ouachita Muurs. Those are people from Namiria. M-O-O-R-S. Those are people from what we know of as, or knew of as Morocco. Different people. Oh, they was both melanated, but they weren't the same people. I'm not going into it because I know about what. If they was both melanated, we all came from, okay, I'm going into it. That's it. I'm going into it. Your mother and her sister. And grandmama had a house. All right? Grandmama had a house. And your mother and you and the family stayed with grandmama. And then your mother's sister went off to another country. Or wherever they went, some other place. And you and your family, your mama, and your children, and your great-grandchildren, and all that, y'all over here in mama's house. To the point where y'all even forgot about auntie and them who was over there in the other country. But auntie and them, they some kind of way found out they had cousins back over here in the United States. And then they said, we we cousins, we related. And then they run back up over here and they just take over grandmama and them house. They ain't ask you nothing. They just gonna take over because, well, this our house too. Wait a minute. Y'all been over there. Why you just gonna come back over here and just take over grandmama and them house just because? That's what's happened. That's what it's like for you to say, oh, we all the same. Okay, we're the same people, but is it okay for your family members, your long lost past family members, to try to come back over here and take over something where you have been for generations? Okay. So Moors and Moors are two different peoples. So they don't have access to the land by calling themselves M-O-O-R. But when they say M-U-U-R, well, they've tied themselves to the land. Okay, now, we're understanding these are two contracts. Moor, M-O-O-R, M-U-U-R. They're two different contracts. Legally, the legal people who run in this game, they know the difference. Call yourself Moor if you want to. You don't have any title to this land because you called yourself something dealing with Morocco. Only time you find Moor, M-O-O-R, is when it's talking about a people of Morocco. That means you over there. This land is not yours. This land is yours. Then you want to go back over there to Morocco and see if they give you some land. But if you want to have a title that gives you title to this land, you might want to look at M-U-U-R. Okay. Remember to keep that bell on for notifications. Follow UNA Republic for more great information.